Hello, thanks for joining. I'm in north central Indiana to observe and photograph the Sandhill Cranes that come through Indiana on their fall migration. The fields in front of me is where they tend to congregate overnight, early morning hours, before they fly out to nearby fields, cornfields that have been harvested to feed on. They typically return right around sunset to the same area, congregate some more, and find their roosting spot for the night or sleeping spot for the night, and then fly back out again in the morning. So at this location, I'll try to get some video and a little bit of photographs here. It's not my favorite place to photograph them from because, as you'll see shortly, the light is a little harsh, and they tend to stay a little far away since there's a few people that come to this location, but it just doesn't seem to be as easy as a place to photograph. But I'll kick it off here. Thanks for joining. I was able to get a couple photos of the cranes at this observation point. It is a good location to observe their behavior and watch them jumping around and interacting with each other before I moved on to another location. All of these were shot with shutter speeds around 1/1000, aperture about f6, and ISO was around 500. I'm now out in the fields near the observation deck, taking a look at the cranes that land out here to feed during the day before they return to the, I guess, staging area after sunset. So they come out here to feed, as you can you may see a few of them out in the background. I'll try to focus in on them. You'll be able to see a few of them out there. But as I said, they feed out here, congregate in a little bit smaller groups. I'll get a few shots of them at flybys and also get some portraits. I was able to find a location that had a tree line that I could quietly walk through to get to this field where I was able to capture a couple portraits. As I said, they're pretty flighty birds, so you have to be quiet and not approach too quickly. I did have to low crawl up through this field to get these shots. After getting a couple of the portrait shots, I got myself into position to get in place for the birds flying over on their way back to the observation point. I didn't have much of a sky to work with, so I've got the typical blue sky background on these. The birds don't move too fast, so again, the shutter speed wasn't too high, about 1/2000, shooting at about f6.3, ISO around 500. Then right at sunset, the skies lit up orange and I was able to get this silhouette. In the morning, I went back to the observation point to observe them for a little bit before heading to the fields to get some more portrait and in-flight shots. Really like these portrait shots. They're not close-ups of the birds, but they give a good indication of the surroundings that they're in. As you can see, an old barn in the background in the cornfields, great light. Collection of them ready for takeoff. And getting them in, their multiple positions, one in flight, a couple of them running and getting ready for takeoff into the wind. Just really can see their wings and the size of them in these. And then getting them in flight as well. Again, some farmhouses in the background. So it gives you more of a feeling of where you're at and hopefully tells the story a little bit better. Then I got a few of them in a low flyover over the field. I don't get to see this very often. They tend to get up a little bit higher, but not a great shot, but pretty nice to see it. I thought it was a special sight. So captured that, and then early blue skies, getting a single one in flight. Again, bluebird sky, but good isolation shot, and then a pair of them in a nice geometric position. Hello, I'm John Robertson. Thank you very much for watching my first YouTube video. I am a wildlife and landscape photographer currently living in central Indiana. I do travel the U.S. frequently for photography trips, capturing both wildlife and landscape again. I shoot with a Sony A1. All of the photos today were taken with the Sony 200 to 600 on it as well. I am a hobbyist photographer, though I do sell prints and do give lessons. I consider myself a hobbyist amateur, so any feedback is welcome, and provide them in the comments below. So thanks for joining. Hope you like it, and subscribe for future videos. Thank you again.